Alright guys, we're working on a minuet in G by Bach. It's probably the most famous minuet. It sounds like this. And so forth. Hello, I'm Shawn and welcome to my ShawnCheek.com videos. I put the free part 1 here on YouTube, and the rest of the lessons for this song can be found on my website at ShawnCheek.com. Oh, it's actually not a song, it's a piece, right? There's no singing, so. But you can find it on my website along with many other lessons. If you find any of this difficult, that you don't understand, that you have trouble reading music, you need to try my boot camp sight reading lessons, which are also on ShawnCheek.com, which will just give you a basic foundation of how to read music, and then this will be much easier if you're having trouble. Alright, so let's get started. We are in the key of G. We have an F sharp in the key signature, as you can see there, and that means all F's will be sharp. Anytime we have the letter F, we're going to sharp it. So here's an F note. If we were to have this note, we would sharp it, playing F, the black key, immediately to the right instead of the white key for F sharp. Okay? So when we run into F sharps, that's what we're going to do. We have 3/4 in the time signature, so that tells us 3 counts per measure. 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3. We're going to be counting to 3. Alright, the bottom number's a 4, tells us the quarter note gets the beat. So we start off with a D note, okay, in the right hand. Let's look at a hand separately first, is what I kind of like to do, one measure at a time. We start with a D on the 4th line there in the right hand, and it's right here, okay. Here's middle C, so we're up on this D with our 5th finger, okay. See the 5 up there that tells us to use our 5th finger? Then we're going to go down to a G note on the thumb, okay, that's finger 1. Then we go up to an A, and then a B, and then a C, and then a D. And then we're back down to a G, then one more G. Alright, so the notes are D, G, A, B, C, D, G, G. Now as far as the rhythm goes, we're counting 1 count on this note, and then these are 8th notes, so they get half a count apiece, so it's count 2, and 3, and 1, 2, 3. So we have 1, 2, and 3, and 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, and 3, and 1, 2, 3. Okay, so we'll take those 2 measures. Let's take a little chunk. That's 2 measures. That's a good little chunk. Now, let's look at the left hand. We have a chord because we see that it goes space, 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 stacked on top of each other. So we know it's a triad root position chord. The bottom note is a G, so I could just know that that's a G right here below middle C, and then make a chord. G, B, and D. The chord has to have 3 notes at least, so that's our chord. So the other 2 notes are B and D. Alright, if you don't know that, you need to check your flashcards and stuff, exercises that you have in the boot camp series. Alright, so that's G, B, D, and then we're just going to have an A note right here. Okay, so G chord, and then an A note for left hand. So there's our A. Then we move up a little more to a B note. Okay, so we have those 3. So chord, A, B. Now we don't really have to pay attention too much on the counting because the right hand's going to count it for us, as long as we line everything up. Look where it lines up. Okay, I like to draw these little lines, and do that on your music too. After you download and print out the sheet music for this, draw little lines when the hands play together. It's okay to do that. Okay, so let's try these first 2 measures, both hands. So we play hands together there, and then right, right, and then together, and then right, and then together, right, right. So we have 1, 2, and 3, and 1, 2, 3. Alright, let's move on to the next 2 measures. So starting here, we have what note here on the right hand? We start with an E, but watch out for this note right here, because it's an F. What we're going to do to the F, we're going to sharp it because the key signature here tells us all F's are sharp. So we're going to sharp it because of the key signature. Alright, so we start on an E, with, they put a 4 there, but I like to do my middle finger. So fingerings are subjective. You don't have to use the fingering that's up here. They're a good idea sometimes, but feel free to use your own if you have something better. So E, then we're going to go down to a C note, and then up to a D, and then an E, and then the F sharp on my 4th finger, and then 5th finger on the high G there. That's a high G over there. And then we have 2 low G's left. Okay, so starting right here, we have E, C, D, E, F sharp, G, G, G. Okay, now let's look at the left hand. C, and then a B note there. Okay, so middle C, B. Okay. And then we look where we put hands together, so we'll do this. Just put a vertical line between them. Now let's try these 2 measures. 1 and 2 and 3 and 1, 2, 3. So we have 4 measures. Let's try all 4 measures. Okay, you ready? Ready, go. 1, 2 and 3 and 1, 2, 3. 1, 2 and 3 and 1, 2, 3. Now let's try to finish up at least this section here. All right. So we go to the next line. We start off with a C note on the right hand. Okay, so C. Now I'm going to use my 4th finger. It's the way I've played it since I was a little kid. Even though they have a 3. Finger numbers are just suggestions. C, D, C, B, A, B, C, B, A, G. Okay, so bum, 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 bum. Little sequence, and that can be played in that G 5-finger position, that G position we call it. Okay, so that's the right hand on that part. On the left hand we'll have an A note, and then in the top space of the bass clef a G. A, G. Now you do count to 3 because it's a dotted half note, right? But you don't really have to think about that because the right hand is counting it for you. Okay? So we'll just put our vertical lines there, and we'll play together there. 1, 2 and 3 and then together here. 1 and 2 and 3 and let's do that again. 1 and 2 and 3 and 1 and 2 and 3 and so we consistently have that rhythm. Bum, bop, 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 bop. 1, 2 and 3 and. So notice that. Now let's get to the last 2 measures here. This is an F note. So what are we going to do to it? Because of the key signature, F sharp, we're going to sharp it. Okay? So let's put an F sharp on that. And then we'll go to a G. So F sharp, G. Now here's a place, when you've done your fingering, ba, 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 you can cross over with this finger to get that F sharp. Okay? So get that F sharp. And come back to G, A, B, G. So F sharp, G, A, B, G. Alright, so get that crossover. And then we have 2 notes left. B, A, ba, 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 B, A. Now, on the left hand, let's look at that. We have a D note here, okay? Now, I want you to look at it. It's 3 notes, okay? You should know the notes individually. D, and then a B, and then a G in the middle of the piano. But also notice that it's a chord. It's a broken chord. Remember this when we played this, G, B, D? It's the same thing, it's just broken up. D, B, G, going from top to bottom. It's a descending broken G chord. So notice that. And then D, B, G, we have a D here, of course, and then a lower D. Okay, so D, D down there, and then middle C, B, A. So the left hand has quite a bit more to do in this area right there. So let's play the left hand starting there. 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, and 3, and. Okay, so you might have to work on that a little bit on your left hand. And don't worry about it if you have to pause. when you're playing this, everybody has to do that when they're first learning a piece. So those pauses will disappear as you play it correctly over and over and over again, okay? Now, so play hands together there, together, right, together, right, and then together there, then together, left, 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 bump, bump, bump. Let's do it again with the little rhythm this time. And go. 1 and 2 and 3 and 1 and 2 and 3 and there you go. Any rhythm problems or anything you don't understand, it's all covered in my boot camp sight reading course that gets you ready to read notes. So check that out on ShawnCheek.com. Hope you guys enjoy it. See you on the website.